Yeah.
We're not listening to you anyway.
I am.
Right, good evening everybody. As the panel introduced, my name is John Thomason. I'm currently the Treasurer of Wigan, Lee and Makerfield Liberal Democrats. I was also the council candidate in Hindley Green in the election just gone. Thank you very much for the invitation to come here tonight. The question that we've been asked this evening is, should Britain leave the EU? And I'm sure it won't come as any surprise to you what my opinion is on that. I'm a firm believer that we should remain in the EU and we should strongly remain in the EU. And I base my reasoning for that on common sense, on what I believe as a father, on what I believe is best for my children, my family, but also what I believe is best for the local community and for the wider community across the northwest of England. It's common sense for the economy. It encourages trade for local businesses and regional businesses who want to import raw materials from across Europe. It brings down their costs, but it also means that they can sell their finished products tariff-free across Europe. A Leave vote will risk local businesses. It will risk local jobs. And nobody on the Leave side can say with any certainty how long a new trade agreement will take to hash out. We have examples of other countries that are outside of the EU that want to try and negotiate trade agreements. Switzerland have been negotiating in one shape or other since 1992. We're already there, we're already at the table. I was reading earlier this week about a business just down the road in Salford, and they import HGVs and distribute them in the UK. They actually have a 6% market share in distributing HGVs in the country. But the reason I picked them is because it's an industry that has quite a significant impact on a far wider range of industries. HGVs and hauliers bring your goods to the supermarket. They transport things at home and abroad. They have an impact on your daily life. Now, let's say this company has negotiated to purchase a number of vehicles at €100,000 a unit, and they negotiated that deal in December of last year. Because of the uncertainty that we are already seeing, and this isn't something that will happen after a Brexit, it's something that's happening here and now. Because of that uncertainty, the strength of the pound, the confidence in the pound is already declining. That was not happening when we were before this referendum campaign started. If that business now was wanting to use that same amount of money, it would cost them £9,000 a unit extra. Now, who's going to pick up that £9,000? Is it the company itself? Is it going to be workers in that company who might be made redundant because their positions are at risk? Is that company going to sell its goods at a lower price and take the hit itself? Or is it going to pass on those costs to the people that it's selling to? Ultimately, the cost is going to be passed on to us, to Joe Public. We're the ones that will end up picking up that tab. And that is why it is better to be in Europe for the economy, because we can actually sell our goods, we can buy our goods, and we can make sure that the prices are right and best for us in the community. I also believe that remaining in the EU is common sense for British travellers. It encourages cultural exchanges, as well as supporting holidaymakers. John's already picked up on that a little, but people can travel now from the Black Sea to the Arctic Circle without having a visa. It encourages European travellers, though, to visit Britain, to come here, have an experience, to enjoy our culture, and to spend their money in our shops, in our tourist areas, in our cities. Nobody on the Leave side can say with any certainty how travel to and from Europe will be impacted on if we leave the EU. Currently, travellers from Europe can come here and spend their money unimpeded. If borders go, if there are border checks, if there are visas, then that is going to have a negative impact on tourism. Across our region, tourism is a big income for us. Cities like Manchester and Liverpool, major international tourist attractions. On our doorstep we have the Lake District and the Peak District, both areas that rely very heavily on overseas tourism. Overseas tourism in the Lake District alone, thank you, overseas tourism in the Lake District alone accounts for £10 billion in the local economy. So when we talk about how much Europe is costing us, we need to look beyond those figures about how much we are paying in. We have to look at what the impact is from people coming here, spending their money and putting money into our country. Remaining in the EU is common sense for the NHS. It relies so much on the expertise of doctors, of nurses, of other medical professionals from across Europe who can come here and transfer their skills, can fill the jobs voids that we have within the NHS, but also they can come here and they can pay their taxes as well. Would you trust the NHS with Prime Minister Boris or Prime Minister Ian Duncan Smith? I certainly wouldn't. The EU is also common sense for workers' rights. It protects hard-working people at home and abroad. And it's common sense for industries where we've traditionally led the world. Engineering, pharmaceuticals, science. The EU puts money into those industries at the moment. But even if we were to retain that funding in our country and not to send that money via Europe, could we guarantee that investment would come back into those areas and ensure that we lead the world in those industries? No, of course we couldn't. Currently the Leave campaign has decided how it's going to spend that money about 4 times over. Finally, the Leave campaign argue that they believe in Britain. Some people on the fringes of the Leave campaign have described people who are involved in Remain as traitors or treacherous. That's not necessarily correct. I doubt there's a person in this room, Leave or Remain, that doesn't believe in Britain. I believe in Britain, and I believe that our role is in the largest trading bloc on the planet. I believe that we can act in the best interest of our country as an equal amongst many, and I believe that we can be a contributor and not a bystander. It's up to us as a country to be in Europe and to fight our corner and to stand up for Britain. Walking away is not the British thing to do. We have always been there when our neighbours have needed us, and this is a time when we need to be again. Finally, to sum up, it is not common sense to leave. I believe in Britain, and I believe that our role is to lead and to not leave. Thank you.